over in Essex at the moment, and I've come to see a very, very special football fan who his house is a bit of a shrine to Arsenal Football Club. As you can tell by this is beautiful, by the way, in marble. Let's see if he's in. How you doing, mate?
How are you, mate? Yeah,
good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
You all right? Yeah,
Nice
come in,
one.
boy. How are you? All right?
When I came to your house originally,
yes, mate.
when you was living in London,
yeah,
you had everything upstairs. It was upstairs in a room, wasn't it?
Yeah, it were 2 rooms, but yeah, it's a bit cramped. Yeah,
I noticed your wife now has got you to move it outside. So you've got it
yeah,
in the garage.
it was partly my idea as well, because it's quite a nice big double garage, and I thought I could do something with that. I'm working from a blank canvas.
Yeah.
So literally then I was able to design it and do it exactly how I wanted it, rather than just sticking it in 2 rooms and getting it in as best as I could. So, yeah, so we have moved out here.
I can't wait to see it, man. Let's go.
Let's go, yeah,
Let's go.
by all means.
Oh, this is nice. Bit of Arsenal tapestry.
Yeah, a bit of Arsenal there, just as you come in, and please enter.
Wow. Where do we start, Keith? I mean, Jesus.
Well, it's entirely up to you, mate. You browse around, have a look. You have to remember that this is nearly 50 years of collecting.
50 years of collecting.
50 years of collecting.
Now, how many games have you missed in the last 50 years?
Oh, it's
because I missed a game the other day, Southampton.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I went to all the home games with my dad, and then sort of 69, 70, I sort of badgered him to start taking me away, which luckily he did. We went to obviously the Fairs Cup final, you know, the 2 League Cup finals before that, Swindon and Leeds when we lost. Yeah, do we say any more? And it was, you know, it was horrible because everyone else was supporting their teams and unfortunately winning something, and we weren't. But, you know, on one odd occasion, I thought maybe I'll change my team, and that didn't go down very well with my dad, God bless him. So I stuck with them, and it's probably the best thing I ever did in my life, because I absolutely love them to bits.
I think we can see that.
I think there's enough proof in the pudding in here.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate, I must mention. You know, I've got some good mates that, you know, help me source stuff, and also some of the players, you know, are very good to me. So I've been quite fortunate in that respect. But in general, yeah, it's been a lot of years and a lot of collecting, and I don't sort of plan to stop. If something nice comes up, I always try and get it.
How many shirts you got? You got loads of shirts.
Yeah, loads here. Yeah.
What's this one?
Yeah, that one there. Believe it or not, that's my '89 shirt.
Wow.
And I fitted in that.
Is this the actual shirt?
The shirt I wore in '89 to Anfield. Yeah.
Wow.
This is my shirt.
It's in great nick.
Yeah, I wouldn't get in it now, as you can see, but it did fit me in those days, and I've been managing to try over the years to get as many of the team that played there on that fabulous night to sign it. I'm not quite there yet with all of them, but we're getting there. So
who have you got on there? This Paul Merson there,
there's the Merson there. There's John Lukic. I managed to get Theo Foley.
Yeah.
Lee Dixon. Nigel Winterburn, Martin Hayes, Perry Groves, George Graham, Stuart Houston, Alan Smith. There's O'Leary, I think is one of them. Yeah. David O'Leary, but amazing. I think that's O'Leary. But
that's amazing. There's
still a few just to get still. Yeah.
Now what's this?
This is a replica. That's the 71 shirt, of which Charlie Radford, Pat Rice, Frank McLeod, Bob Wilson, Eddie Kelly have signed.
Wow.
These ones here, that one there is the 02 one signed by the whole of the first team squad.
Brilliant.
That's
what we were
when we were yes we were, yes, and let's hope we're the only team that still is at the end of this season. That there is David Platt's match shirt from the FA Cup final in 1998. Yeah, he didn't play, he was a sub, but he came on. That's his shirt. Yeah, and then this one here is Benica Phobie's from the Tour of Hong Kong, his match shirt. Wow. This one here is from the Asia Tour. That's Armand Traore. Yeah, that's his one. This
You've
one
got
here.
so many, Keith.
This one here is Vito Mamoni's from the
actual-
Asia
and these are all the
tour.
actual
Yeah,
shirts.
these are the actual shirts the players
Let me
wore.
pick a shirt out. Let me just pick a shirt at random.
Go for it.
Let me go, I don't know. What's this one?
Aaron Ramsey's, that's his match shirt from the Manchester United game with a poppy on it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Ramsey's one.
Let me pick another shirt at random. Let me go.
That one,
All right.
Emmanuel Aboui's
Emmanuel
match shirt.
Signed.
Signed as well, yeah.
How do you get all these actual shirts?
Well, again, sometimes I can't say too much, but it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It is who you know.
And over the years, I mean, there's one here which is obviously one of my real favourites, which is somewhere here, if I've got it. Can't find it in a minute, I don't think. Yes, I can, here it is. This one here is the Maestros.
Dennis
One of the
Bergkamp.
Maestros from his game.
Oh, that's from his
the Emirates.
testimonial game.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah, we
There you
did.
go.
Yeah.
Against Ajax.
Yeah, with his
I remember
logo on the front.
The
and his-
DB10 logo on the
DB10,
front.
Yeah.
The actual shirt he wore.
He had a few of them, and this was one of the ones they had done like that for
Wow.
him. I don't think it was actually the one he wore, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But
It's one of his.
you wouldn't be able to get one.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Wow.
So
I'm going to pick one more at
Go
random
on
before
then,
we have to
one
move
more,
on. I don't know.
one
We'll
more,
be here
one
all day. Well, when we... Oh, I don't know, man. I've got so many here, man. I don't even know what the... Oh, what? There's too many. There's too many. Oh, here we go. This is a bit controversial, this one.
yes, I'm afraid
Sammy
it is.
Nasri.
Yes. Again, that was his poppy shirt from the Everton game. That was
game.
the one that he
you
wore.
can see on the front there.
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah,
Such good condition, this thing.
that was the one he wore.
Sammy
Believe it or-
Nasri. You didn't burn it.
Well, it's part. Unfortunately, we have some players that I could quite easily burn their stuff, but they're part of our history of our club.
That's true. That's true.
So
they
unfortunately, I keep them. He wouldn't be on my Christmas card list. That's all I can say. But if you look at that one, actually now they're not allowed to put like Arsenal remembers and the game and everything.
Yeah.
They're only solely allowed to do a poppy again. I don't know if you noticed this season.
Oh, yeah.
This season, every club only just did a poppy. They didn't do that. You know, we were the first club to do something like that. But it's been told now that it has to stop. So, so it's quite a rare item, really. This one is one of Jack's shirts that he wore, and then on the back he put very kindly, to Keith, top Gooner.
Yeah,
Jack
Keith,
Wilshere.
top Gooner. Jack Wilshere's shirt. Look at it. You can see the proper thing. They've got the little...
Yeah, the vents in
little
them, you
vents
see.
in
Yeah.
the side of
the
that.
replica ones you can't, in the shop you buy, you can't get all that. Yeah.
Wow.
Set of 10 different players, jigsaw puzzles, and our one was George Swindon, the goalkeeper, and I even managed to salvage the box. It was a little bit battered.
From what year was that?
That is from 1950, 52, I think, something like that.
Okay, we'll get that up in there.
Action Man did an Arsenal kit.
Wow. What year was that?
Oh, that was in the 70s. That was the cup final tracksuit.
Wow. That is so unusual. So
There you go.
got the team on the back
Team
there.
on the back, yeah.
So rare.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Now, you know what,
so-
Keith?
Yeah, go on, mate.
What I love, and the last time, the thing that really blew me away, I mean, you've got all these pictures signed by, but it's starting to become, this is becoming normal now because, you know, all these pictures signed by Bergkamp, signed by this, signed by Henry.
We've added Aaron Schultz from the cup final when he scored the winning goal
Wow.
over there. And there he is actually signing them for me. And
It's amazing.
nice picture there he put up there to Keith. Thanks for everything. You know, as again, I do his scrapbooks as well. So
But that's what I was
something
going to ask
to
you
look
about,
back on.
the scrapbooks.
Right, yeah.
Now,
yeah.
that's what blew me away last
Labour
time.
of love. Yeah.
That's what's been blowing the players away when you show it to them.
Yeah.
How long have you been collecting these scrapbooks?
I've been doing them probably just after I started going, sort of 1963, 64.
64.
Yeah,
You've been collecting this
1964.
one?
Yeah.
Have you got one from...
The problem that you have is in those days there was very small amount of media coverage in the papers of games, you know. Of today, with all the colour supplements and all the previews of games before they play and everything else, I can now do probably at least five, maybe 6 scrapbooks a season. Whereas when I first started, I just done them in I think I've got one over here somewhere. Here you go, look. So in just literally a small book, because that's all there was, you know. Wow. Whereas nowadays they're all big scrapbooks, you know. Wow. But that one,
what year is this from then?
That would be from about 68, this one, I think, 1968, something like that. When we, you know, there was very little coverage. But
that's amazing. I mean, look at all that. Look. Arsenal crushed Palace, 5-1.
Yeah.
Stroll on Arsenal, 2 for Graham. That's obviously when George Graham was playing.
Was playing for us.
Playing for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Peter Marinello there signing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's Geordie Armstrong there, God bless him, after he scored against Derby.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, but this was about the strength of what was in the papers in those days.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays...
All in black and white.
Oh, obviously. Everything was in black and white, yeah. I mean, that's
Last
Radford.
time Tottenham won the league.
But no, that was another time when we knocked them out. And we went to Wembley and they didn't.
Yeah.
And very fortunately, John Radford, who headed the winning goal,
signed it for you.
Signed them for me. Yeah, when I met him, I've met him a few times. Been fortunate.
It's amazing, people. I mean, what would you say would be the value of something like this?
Oh, blimey, it's very hard to put a figure on anything, really. I mean, to the right person, it's worth money. You know, to maybe, I don't know, 95% of people, it's worth nothing. They're not interested. But if you're a football fan and obviously an Arsenal supporter, then it's a different matter altogether.
Thousands,
you know, I do Aaron's books, I do all the fronts, do Aaron's ones.
This is Aaron Ramsey's one.
Yeah. I mean, these 3 are mine. So, like I said to you before, you can see how small that first book was.
That's for Wales, right?
For Wales, yeah. So I did him for the Euros as well, yeah. So we had something to look back on.
But
look at the size of them.
You'll actually give this to Aaron Ramsey?
Oh, yeah, I'll give that to Aaron, yeah. That would be for him to keep, yeah.
Wow, so it's like all the coverage of what was going on during the Euros, which would have been an amazing moment for him.
You know, when I see him, that will be given to him. Obviously, it's when he's the star of the show or he scored a goal or whatever.
Lincoln City.
You know, it basically is all about the individual player. You know, if we win a game and he don't score and he don't play very well, it's...
When he scored his 50th goal?
Yeah, when he scored his 50th goal. Yeah, that's right.
And you'll give him...
I'll give him that, I'll give him that. I've got a couple more in the other room as well.
This is like remember that old programme, This Is Your Life?
Sort of, yeah.
Aaron, This Is Your Life.
Sort of, yeah. And then the same with Jack. I mean... Jack's just come back onto the scene, so, you know, for a little while there wasn't...
so you got a bit of it, even when he was at Bournemouth?
Even when he was at Bournemouth,
you were still tracking him?
Yeah, I still tracked him. And also... in here, I think when he went to Bournemouth, so I thought it might not be in here. I thought it should have been. There was there we are. There's a newspaper there from Bournemouth. The day he went and signed for him. Jack's the lad, the Bournemouth Daily Echo.
Jack's the lad.
And that's the front page of the Bournemouth Echo when he went down there to play.
Wow.
So I managed to get hold of that.
And again, you give this
from Bournemouth, yeah. So needless to say, he'll get that.
What happens if a player moves on? He just abruptly the scrapbook just abruptly ends. That's it.
Yes, you're right, Robbie. Yes. If they're not in my team, they're not in my scrapbooks.
Scrapbook just abruptly ends. That's it. Over.
Finished. Ta-da. See you later. I mean, as I know, you probably don't know, but I did them for Eddie Bayor as well. I mean, I'd done about 4 or 5 for him. Took him down to his house and he was over the moon with them, like, you know. But again, the minute he went, then that was it. Finished.
I noticed you got these figures here.
Yeah.
Well, the way we'll keep
I just say, I had that one, unfortunately, yeah.
Oxalate Chamberlain. But these, right, now I've seen these before. These are stuck on the wall when you go, like when you go into Arsenal and you're going towards the change rooms, they got all these stuck on the wall, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's sort of, I thought they were cardboard, but they're like on metal.
They're like a metal.
How'd you get those?
Well, when they have the
Lucas Podolski, by the way.
Yeah, when they have the end of season dues and that, it goes to the Arsenal Foundation. You buy raffle tickets, and then you get drawn out at the end. And then if you win a player, then you get him. I mean, in there I've also got Coquelin, Francis Coquelin.
Okay.
Which what I do is I've only just got these, so what we'll be doing is when you come in the other half, you'll see all the lanyards from all over the world and all over Europe, and I hang them around their necks so people can see them. But there's so many around their necks that I needed a couple of more players to be able to do that.
So, your Tottenham neighbour, you should put him outside his house.
Well, yeah,
Guard of honour every time he comes home. You've got all these amazing pictures here. Now, you know which one I want you to I'm just moving this to the side a bit. I want you to tell me about this one.
Well,
and you've got the ticket here.
Yeah, that's my match ticket from Anfield '89. I've been very fortunate.
£6.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate that I've seen every final Arsenal have been in since I was born.
Wow.
So I've been very fortunate. Some great ones, some that you tend to forget, but that's all part and parcel of it. But the '89 one, obviously, as you can see, the Liverpool players in the background, they're in bits. That's just as Michael had gone on his back. After the game, none of us left. We stayed there for, it seemed like a dog's age. And then finally George came out with Pat Rice and with the trophy, and everybody went ballistic again. I'm sure if everybody's bought the DVD of '89, you see that where we were in that corner, after that game, no away fans were ever there again. They moved us to where everybody is now, so you're not in camera shot. They didn't like it at Anfield that we were in that corner and they could film us all going mental. Then George came out and I managed to worm my way through and managed to get, I mean, how Pat Rice put best wishes on it as well is beyond me, but he did. And George Graham, you know, managed to sign it as well. So it's quite a souvenir. And like you say, the price, well, compared with today, it's unbelievable.
The Arsenal team, 1930, 1931,
31,
1953, 54, 1936.
Yeah, this is Royal Arsenal.
Woolwich
Arsenal,
Woolwich Arsenal before we even came over to North London.
That was our first, I think the first international was there, Harry Storer. He was the first international player that ever represented Arsenal. Wow. That was the last game ever at the Invicta ground in Plumstead in 17th of January 1891.
How'd you get that?
These are original postcards. They're the first ones that were ever made that you could put a stamp on them and send them to people.
Yeah.
And they are actually originals. Some of these are copies.
Yeah. Amazing. I understand that, Keith, right? This little section here, right, amongst all the other trains. You know what? I could just sit here for hours. I remember saying it at your last place that I went to. This is just... No, you need a day to just come here and just sit and go through this.
I mean, people have said they could spend a lot longer here, you know, and I can appreciate it because there is so much to see, and you know, but
I understand that this little section here
has
got some of your really old
it's real old scrapbooks that an old elderly gentleman gave me. I've got the original paper cuttings of when Herbert died and the players carrying the coffin. Yeah, of course you can, yeah. This one here, we'll go with this one as the first one because this one was a bit of a find. We did a refurb in a house, in a flat, should I say, and we ripped the carpet up, and then under that was lino and lino and lino and lino.
This was just when you were doing your job?
Yeah, doing our work. Yeah. And then once we got all the lino up, in those days, they used to put newspaper on the floor, over the floorboards, before they laid the lino. And once we got down to the bottom, it was all newspapers. So... being what I'm like, I went, whoa, let's have a little look here. I said, this must be really old. I said, it's been a long while since all these have been up. And needless to say, I was correct. we managed to find, and it's in a plastic because otherwise it will fall apart.
That looks old.
It is old, yeah. It's the people on Sunday, the December the 13th, 1896.
Wow.
Which is 10 years after we were formed.
Wow.
And lo and behold.
Look at that.
And lo and behold, we managed to find Saturday's sport. And the first bit there was Arsenal's match report for an FA Cup game against Leighton.
Woolwich Arsenal versus Leighton.
At Plumstead.
At Plumstead. The Arsenal first 11, being away from Loughborough, the second 11 took their places. The game was played in drenching rain, which rendered the ground very slippery and put a good play out of question. They didn't have the pitches in those days.
No.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant.
Yeah, so it's literally 10 years after we were formed. And the ironic thing is...
We won, didn't we? We won. We were winning 1-0.
We won 5-0 in the end. And it's ironic that we're at the top of the page. And, underneath that, Tottenham played St Stephen's Hospital. Yeah. Unfortunately, they won, but they were still below us, even in 1896. We were top we were top, they were underneath.
Tottenham Hotspur versus Old St Stephen's Hospital at Northumberland Park, Tottenham. Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, and it seems to have been a theme there right the way through till now, I think. Yeah. Always been above them.
Well, apart from last year.
Well, apart from that, yeah. Law of averages, 20 years, you've got to give or take 1 year. But yeah, it was a really, really unbelievable sort of find, you know. The gentleman who I worked for, he saw me when I got there, and of course I had an Arsenal top on, and he went, at the time, this is 25 years ago, he went, "Fabulous team you support there, son." I went, "Well, you're preaching, you don't have to preach to me." He went, "I always used to go." He said, "But I got a bit too old for it. So now, and with the expense, I watch it on the telly." He said, "But they'll always be my club." And I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "You know, so I bet you've seen some games over the years." He went, "Oh, yeah." And then I started getting tools out of the van to start. We was hanging him a new front door. And getting all the stuff out. And then about 10 minutes later, he come down, he said, "Here," he said, "have a look at this." He said, "This is an old scrapbook I done. And it's got all the old cuttings in it and all the old players. And a lot of them are signed. Cliff Alton, Derek Tapscott, Tommy Lawton."
That's amazing.
Best wishes, Bill Dickinson. And I sat there, Dennis Evans signed, and I sat there looking through it all. And also, it was the first time an English club had gone behind the Iron Curtain into Russia, into Moscow. And in those days, you weren't allowed cameras. But Arsenal, there it is. I knew it was here somewhere. Yeah, Moscow, as Arsenal saw it, their own pictures and comments.
Wow, look at that.
And
you can see some of the Arsenal players there.
Yeah, behind the Iron Curtain in Moscow when we played. Standing
in front of a picture there of Stalin.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then also they took I think it's one more page of those as well, yeah. The actual game that we played and them standing outside the Kremlin.
How would he know to give you this? How would he know
that
this would find a great home?
I sat there, if I'm honest with you, I sat there for probably an hour and a half looking at it.
You nicked it off him?
No,
I'm only joking.
Yeah. I ran out the door with it, no. And after I've been looking at it that long, he said, "I can see that means a lot to you." I said, "Blimey, yeah." I said, "It's a fabulous, from the early years." He said, "Take that and put that with all your collection," because one of the lads I was working with said it means a lot to him because he's got a fabulous collection at the time. And he said, "Please," he said, "I know that's going to a good home. please take it and keep it with the rest of your stuff.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Now, jokingly, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have spent an hour and a half looking at it. I would have been hanging the front door, but I wasn't to know that at the time, was I?
No, but you know, it's almost like he sensed
very
that
kindly,
this was going to find a good home.
very kindly let me have it. Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
Which was quite amazing, really. A guy in Huddersfield, he had these, and it was the death of Herbert Chapman. In 8th of January 1934, and he had the actual cuttings of the cortege, like going down. Yeah, on this side, on the other side, that's the players there watching the guard of honour as his coffin went in.
That is amazing. I mean, when people talk about Arsenal, Mr. Arsenal, he is Mr. Arsenal.
There you go. Huge crowds for Herbert Chapman's funeral at Hendon.
There you go.
That's all the original paper cuttings from 1934.
That is amazing.
And I managed to get them off.
Enormous crowd gathered outside St Mary's Church in Hendon for the funeral of Mr. Herbert Chapman, the manager of Arsenal.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So, you know, so there's some very old and, well, I'd say probably quite rare. I mean, probably other people have got them, but I mean, I've been a follower all my life and I haven't seen anyone with any of those other than me. But there must be maybe somewhere in the country.
Well, I ain't seen them.
And
if you know anybody, let us know.
I'm just going to say, I'd be interested to know if there is anybody else that has got them.
You want their collection, won't you?
No. Then the other thing which brings us far more up to date is when we acquired the plot for the new ground.
Yeah.
I was really thinking of a situation of what I could do, and basically with my lovely lady, every 2 months, once they started building, we went down there, and this is a complete collage of it. There you go. So needless to say, I started my trips down there every couple of months. From when it started, acquired for the new Arsenal Stadium, 31-acre site, and then after that we went down. That was when they were knocking down the old waste station and starting to build everything up, and it's a complete catalogue really of everything, you know. That's the steps, going up to the bridges. I even went down, I think, back here one Sunday.
The bridge?
Yeah, the bridges. And on one Sunday, they were craning in the roof. So I was able to get a couple of them, like bringing in the roof trusses on one of the trips. And then basically it went right the way through till the ground was completely finished. Was very fortunate to get a visit as well inside the ground while we was there, and as you can see, it's all taking shape. And then that was inside the ground up at the top, looking down at it, and they did let us to the tunnel, but with regards to the tunnel, we was only allowed just to the edge of it there. We weren't allowed any further because of all the building work, and these here are like the dressing room areas and press areas that are all at the time still being made. As I say, until you get right to the end, when, needless to say, the Arsenal word went in. That was the sign going in there right at the start. They were doing that till the finished article, which, as we all know, looks absolutely magnificent. From an old campaigner like me, it will never be Highbury. That was my ground. But you have to move with the times. And kids that were my age when I went to Highbury, they'll only ever know the Emirates.
Exactly.
You know, so you do have to move on. But
then there's all I like the stuff that you've got here at the end from Highbury. The greeting stuff.
I managed to get in to Highbury, and in the marble hall behind the cannon, where Herbert is, a lot of the players had all written a montage of their time there. Van Persie wrote, "Bye bye, short but very good." Thierry Henry, "I will miss Highbury so much. It has been more than enjoyable to play and to score goals here. It was just a special place for me." Yeah, I think Colo's English needs to be updated a little bit. He put, "Thank you for everything you have bring to me." Think it should have been brought, but there you go. He's put his little bit there. That's Dennis. It's been great. Thanks for the memories, years of fun and trophies. Perez, thanks for all the memories. Petit, am and I will always be a gunner. Thanks for everything you gave me. I will never forget the place. So there were, you know, nice little bits that were there, and I think, yeah, there was one there from Lauren as well. "All this time, the best time in my football life." Lauren. So quite amazing, yeah.
Now, again, an amazing football boot collection you've got here. With so many players, I don't know where to start. We'll just quickly whiz through. The one that I find really significant right now is these ones here. Tomas Rosicky's boots.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he's just retired, hasn't he,
from football, which
sad.
Yeah,
He's an amazing player.
Very sad. Tremendous servant for our club. Great favourite. Those actually are his boots that he wore in the cup final. And
they've still got mud on them, kids.
Yeah, and the ticker tape is on them as well.
Wow.
They literally were off the ground at Wembley, and they're mine.
He's got the flag on the back as well.
Yeah,
the flag,
the Czech flag. Yeah. And,
that's amazing.
Those were his ones. Jack kindly gave me a pair of his new boots, or not? They're not his newest ones, obviously. When his son was born, and they're stitched in it.
Aaron Ramsey's FA Cup final boots from 2014.
Yeah, when he scored the winner. Yeah, unfortunately they weren't the boots he wore. He had a choice of boots, and he obviously wore the other ones, but they still had them made for him, and they're the boots which he's kindly signed for me, and obviously
got the Welsh flag on the back.
Welsh flag, the FA Cup final, and his Ramsey 16 on it. This one up here is Perez's from the cup final against Southampton.
Wow.
Unfortunately, not the one he scored with, the one he was standing on when he hit it in, but still his boot from the cup final.
Brilliant. You've got so many boots. It says Fabregas.
Yeah, there is from the Champions League final against Barcelona. It's all stitched in down on the side.
Yeah.
Again,
amazing.
It's quite a collection. These ones here are more recent. They're Martinez's boots. Emilio Martinez's boots.
Look at the size of his feet.
Yeah, fair old size. I managed to get them at an auction, and his gloves. And
Lucas Fabianski's gloves up there as well.
Lucas Fabianski's gloves up there. They're Martinez's gloves up there. That's all right. Which were with the boots.
Look at the size of his hands. Yeah. I mean, I've got really big hands, but
yeah.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
So those were his. They're Fabianski's, and then down here, over there is Almunia's and Vito Mamoni's.
Wow.
As well, and up there is David Seaman's.
I've got a really stupid question to ask you, right? This is really stupid. Do you collect programmes? Which I know you must do.
No, I haven't got one. No, I'm only joking. Yes, I have. Yeah, I keep all the programmes I've got. I go back to Home and Away, the Second World War. And from the Second World War. And then I go a little bit further back, but they're not all sets.
So every single home game?
Home and Away programme.
Home and Away programme?
Yeah.
Since the Second World War?
Yeah.
Every single one?
Yeah. Including the ones where the game has been postponed at Highbury. But I've managed to get down there early and get a programme before it's postponed. I've got a postponed one from Leicester when we played up there and it got and it got iced off. One from Liverpool when the fog came down. and we didn't play. One from Portsmouth at Fratton Park, it just deluged of rain, and that didn't get played. But I ran down to the ground, got drenched, but got the programme.
What do you mean you were down there already?
Yeah, we're down there already,
Okay.
and then they said that the game's off.
So you said to all the...
So as soon as the game was off, I said, I won't be long, wait in the pub. So I legged it down. I legged it down to the ground, and luckily one of the programme sellers was still there, so I bought a couple of the programmes.
Where you keep all the...
In this one in here, there's all the a lot of the cup finals are all here. These ones here are all pre-season. A lot of these in here are all Europe, all over Europe, over the years. Okay. Then in this one is all the home ones. As I say, these are all in sets, but I've got some like these ones.
Wow, that looks ancient.
Well, yeah, that one's 31, 32, and that one is 28, 29.
What's that? So that's price 2 shillings.
Yeah, that one's 29, 30.
So
but
look at it.
You see. But as I say, these aren't full sets, you know, and to buy these ones now, they're in the region of about £100 each.
They didn't have any pictures in those days?
No pictures.
So it's just all writing?
It was all writing, yeah. Yeah. Look at this one, on the back of this one, it had the Metropolitan Railway line connections. So you knew how to get to the ground and how you could get away
this
from it.
This one's got an advert in it. It says, at the Finsbury Park Empire, Monday, May the 19th, 1932, Fred Dupree and Company.
Yeah.
In My Wife's Family. Book your seats.
And this one is Monday the 15th of October 1928. Harry Day presents Vogue and the Vanities. Book your seats. So wow. yeah. So
that is amazing.
They are some real old ones in reasonable condition, but
great condition.
Yeah, but you know, as I say, these aren't full sets, you know, but they don't. Some come up and some don't. But as I say, a lot of these ones now at that age, you know, when they do come up, they're like about £100 each now. And when you think they were twopence,
my
2p or 1p, yeah. Probably, yeah.
My little collection of programmes just suddenly paled into total insignificance. So Keith,
yes, mate.
Medals.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are like club ones that they've done, you know, commemorative ones over the years when we've won trophies.
What's this one?
They've brought them out. That is, we used to play Racing Club of Paris every year in a pre-season friendly.
Right.
They're not around anymore. This was when we played them on the 1st of the 11th, 1949. Yeah. And before the game, every Arsenal player was presented with a leather cigarette wallet for their cigarettes.
Cigarette wallet.
Exactly.
You wouldn't see that now, would you?
It's quite laughable, really.
Wow.
But this one actually was Dennis Compton's. Yeah. And very luckily, I've got a letter of authentication in here from his uncle to say that, you know, it was Dennis's. So
great condition as well.
It's in really good condition, to be honest. It's quite amazing now.
What's this one? What is this one?
That one there, that is the last ever game at Highbury. They bought out a solid silver stadium.
That is awesome.
For the
look at
the players, the staff, and that. And they only did. It's a limited edition of 1,500. That's all they did. Yeah. All the old players that walked around the pitch got them. Obviously, people that worked at the club over the years, you know, that were alive and one thing and another, all got them. And I was very fortunate to, in the end, manage to source one, as you might say. We'll leave it at that, but yeah, source one. So that's that. This one here is the Cup Winners' Cup final in Copenhagen when we beat Parma 1-0. Alan Smith. Yep. And says on the back, Coupe de Grace winners. That's the actual winners' medal.
1994.
1994, and
whose medal was that?
That was Paul Davis's.
Paul Davis's medal.
Yeah.
His winning medal.
Yeah, his winning medal.
Wow, I saw him the other day actually. I was at a function with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was asking me where this was.
Was he?
I'll bring it back to him.
He actually does know where it is now. Actually, yeah, he does know where it is. So you know, but a lot of these, as I say, are shop ones. You know, but of course you can't buy them anymore. You know, they do them from a limited amount of time, and then once that's run out. I mean, these ones here are from 1971 when we done the double.
Wow.
That's the coins that they brought out. You know, commemorative coins. Yeah, like number 570.
Wow, look at that.
Commemorative coins from 71, a silver one and a bronzy, a silver and a bronze one.
I bet that's worth a bit.
I think they did do a gold one. But
that must be.
I haven't seen one of those, to be honest with you.
That must be worth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hold on. Got it on focus now. Yep.
Then we played Bedford Town for their 50th anniversary in 2006, and that was another commemorative medal that they gave to everybody for Arsenal playing at their ground.
Amazing. Okay, cool. That's cool, Keith.
And just one more thing, I will show you. It's what my dad, God bless him, brought me, and it's my World Cup Willie money box. You won't
From
see
1966
when we won it.
When we won it. Keep holding that, that's worth a lot.
Exactly.
Anything from that era when we won it, when we actually won something.
It is. World Cup Willie, World Cup Championships, 1966.
So what, he was the mascot, wasn't he?
He was the mascot, yeah.
So what's this then? You put money in it?
Yeah, I think this is the key, if I remember rightly. It might not be, but it might even work anymore now. I don't know whether it goes in or not. No, it don't. I can't get it to work.
Well, you put money in.
Yeah, you put the notes in there.
Yeah.
Or the coins in there.
Yeah.
And the notes in there.
Wow.
And that's from the original from 1966.
It feels heavy, Keith.
Is it?
Like you got some dough in there.
Really? We'll have to try and get it open then, shall we?
Have to try and get it open.
But yeah, so you know, whether I'll ever see it again in my lifetime, I very much doubt.
Hopefully, you never know.
But never say never.
In Russia this year, who knows?
Never say never to anything. You just never know. But I thought with all the Arsenal stuff I've got, I thought I would just mention my World Cup Willie money box.
And then now, all these amazing pendants that you've got. I mean,
yeah, they're from
again so many. I don't even know where to start.
They're all from all over Europe, all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, that pendants were quite fashionable.
Once upon a time, Once back in the day, everybody, you know, they were very popular.
Especially finals and that, or big commemorative games, there were pendants done.
Teams always used to pass them to each other. They do still in the in the Premier League. And
yeah. I mean, funny enough, they did against Bati Borisov. There's the one there this season in the Europa League.
Oh.
That's the one that they.
Is this the actual one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So this is the actual one in that game, which they.
Yeah, that's the one that.
That's quite a nice one as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that was.
It's got a bit of padding to it.
The one that they done.
How'd you get that?
It's not what.
His sources again.
It's not what you know; it's who you know. But then in here, you see, you end up with, you know, there's so many all over Europe. But you know, again, in '71, see when we won the league and the cup. See, they were just plastic.
That's a nice one.
And double champions Arsenal,
FA
71.
Cup, Winners' League Cup, 1971.
Signed by a few of the players: Frank McLintock, Radford, Nelson. A few of them. Charlie George has signed it up there.
Wow. You
know, so even these ones here, going back just a little bit, these ones here that's when we won the league and the cup in '71. Again, plastic. That was '79 when we won the cup. There's so many, you know, that you can go back over. And then some of them even are very, very small. Even that one, look, in '89 when we won the league at Anfield.
Wow.
It's a very small one.
League champions, when are we going to see that again?
Hopefully in my lifetime. You never say never.
Never say never, we want to see that again.
But I think you'll find that the money that's bandied about elsewhere will unfortunately probably keep them in front of us a little bit. But it was proved Leicester did it, and they didn't spend a lot of money. They had a team there that worked for one another. They had individuals. They had a good team ethic. All right, I know maybe all the rest of the sides were slightly off the ball that season, but they capitalised on it. So there's no reason why that couldn't happen again. I mean, if it happened again, obviously I'd pray it's us that capitalise on it. But, you know, I've been very lucky. I've seen us win the league at Old Trafford, Anfield and Tottenham twice. There's not many better places to win the league than those three grounds.
The Tottenham one was fantastic.
So, you know, I've been very fortunate over the years to see us, you know, win it. And as you say, even at home against Everton when we won the Premier League, you know, the club have given me some unbelievable moments in my life. So, you know, I don't like to run them down. You know, I mean, I know there's problems and I know at times things aren't right and we all make discussions on it. But I must be honest, you know, you do a good job. But, you know, now and again, when I see what some of the people say when you interview them, genuinely it hurts me. Because they've only been going 5 minutes. Some of them don't always know what they're talking about. And they're basically running the club down. And that immensely hurts me. I'm sorry, it really does.
But Keith,
I get choked with it. I don't like it.
I know.
But there you go.
I know you.
It's the way things are.
Yeah, you're a diehard. You're diehard. You love it to bits. But I think it's frustration with a lot of fans. You know
For sure, yeah. You know,
I mean, I appreciate
that.
you, like myself as well, have been through a lot of rough times before.
Yeah.
So we kind of like, well, you know, this ain't even the roughest of rough.
No.
But I think what it is with a lot of fans, it's the frustration, the fact that, like you said, we were at Highbury, and toward the latter end of Highbury, we were doing really, really well. Yeah. Moved to the new place, were told it was going to be even better. Yeah. And it hasn't, has it?
No, I agree. I think the club did ruse us a little bit in that they said we need to move to a bigger stadium. And, you know, it's well documented against, you know, to fight for the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, the usual, you know, big guns. And you have to say that definitely hasn't happened.
We're competing with Burnley at the moment.
At the moment, exactly. yes, no, we are, yes. And I can see that side of it, definitely. I mean, I'm not, you know... Another thing I was a little bit disappointed about was with regards to when we moved to the new ground, you know, the club weren't honest with us again then. You know, if they'd have said for the first 6 years, you know, our budget is going to be exceptionally tight, we've got to, you know, pay for the stadium, you know, we didn't get given one like some clubs I could mention. So if they'd have turned around and said, you know, the transfer market's going to be virtually nil, but the squad we've got here, we've got to get behind, then I think the fans would have done. But because they didn't tell us that, you know, when the likes of
and they actually said it's going to be better.
Exactly.
And it will be able to compete
and so
with
when,
Bayern
unfortunately,
Munich
you've got promising players like your Danielsons, your Songs at the time, even your Bentners, don't laugh, but even your Bentners, we signed them all on decent long contracts, you know, and they got absolutely coated by the fans because A, they didn't progress, B, they weren't good enough. But at the end of the day, we couldn't do anything about it. Now, if we was told that, I'm 99% certain our fans would have got behind those players a lot more because they would have needed the encouragement. But we didn't, the club didn't give us that. And I was a little bit disappointed about that, to be honest with you.
You see things...
but having said that, those players still, for those 6 years when we couldn't buy anybody, got us in the Champions League every season.
Doing better than the lot now.
Exactly. See, this is it, you know. So sometimes I just don't think that a club are... I mean, I know they can't tell supporters everything and that, but then don't make bold statements and then basically not back it up. So I can see the frustration of supporters, and I accept that. It's just that every now and again when I hear what they're really saying, and I don't think a lot of it is correct, it hurts me immensely. That's all I can say.
You hear that, guys? They ain't going to stop.
No, it's not going to stop. No, I know it won't stop. I have to... I'm an old campaigner now, I suppose, 60 odd, and I know it's not going to
Well,
improve.
you know what?
But it's just a personal view while we're talking.
Yeah.
That it just really hurts me because I'd fight our corner if we were bottom of the conference because that's me, you know. Whereas a lot of others are a little bit too quick to have a pop at us.
They
in my
fight
opinion.
somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know.
I was looking at this, Keith, the record. You know I like my music.
Yeah,
But good old Arsenal. Theme song for Arsenal, sung by the Arsenal first team and the boys from Highbury.
Is the B-side, yeah.
That's the original.
That is the original
copy.
The original song that we came out to in the cup final.
Good old Arsenal.
That's the
Glad
one.
to sing that.
That's the one.
You know what? I've said before. That
And the other side is march on, the boys from Highbury. March on to victory. The Gunners' colours on the cup is what we want to see when we're marching round Wembley.
I've heard Maria singing that.
Am I better than Maria? No. And that is that used to be a big thing of the cup final. Every year the team
song.
brought out a cup final record.
Yeah.
Which was your anthem on the day, for the want of a better word. Good old Arsenal has stood the test of time.
Now,
enough.
why
I mean,
don't we come out? This annoys me a lot, intensely at Arsenal. We have no music that we come out to, right? You know, you go to West Ham, they're coming out to Bubbles. You go to United, you go to all these different, you go to Man City, Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Where's our theme song? Now, this is our theme song, good old Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, we should be coming out to good old Arsenal.
I wouldn't argue to you. You know, as I say, it's stood the test of time because supporters still do sing it.
It's our theme song.
You know, away from home, you'll hear the fans start singing it. You know, all right, I know it's not every away game, but it does get sung. And as I say, it was a big part of the cup final. Now that's all gone by the wayside. That doesn't happen anymore.
Arsenal Football Club, let's start coming out to this tune. No more clocks, ding, 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 countdown. Let's come out to a theme tune. What's our theme?
That's right.
We need our, our identity.
Yeah, well, it says on there, theme song of Arsenal FC. It says it under good old Arsenal. Yeah. We could start a campaign.
Start a campaign. Let's start a campaign.
Yeah, right,
Always
right.
like to start a little campaign.
Right,
Keith.
let's go for it. Yeah,
we got the original record here to start the campaign with.
Yeah. And above that, funny enough, that's the oldest pennant I've got. That's 1954.
Wow.
That's an real old one that I managed to get. And that there is an original oil painting in 1941 of Highbury. That's an original oil painting.
Keith, you know what?
Listen, I know you like your records, yeah?
This is amazing.
I didn't realise, that you hadn't seen good old Arsenal, to be honest with you, because obviously you've heard the song, but you haven't got the record, yeah? Well, there you go, you have now. Look at that.
Oh, thank you very
Good
much.
old Arsenal. There you go. I had two of them, and I thought I just found the other one.
Oh, thank you.
So,
listen, thank you very much.
that's for you.
It's going on eBay. No, sorry.
Don't do that, because I'll probably try and buy it.
No, you know what, Keith? Listen, thank you very much. This is amazing. I think, right? I think you need to do this one day. I think you need to. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I think you need to lift this all up and take it somewhere and let it be an exhibition for all fans. I think you get fans coming from around the world. You get fans coming from around the country to see this.
Really? Yeah.
You would, and because in this video we're only just scratching the surface. One day we gotta try and organise that where we get this, even if it's for a week, into somewhere where it's like a proper exhibition where people can come and have a look at it, because it's truly amazing. It's like a history lesson coming into here. It's just awesome, and I know, and what I like about you is that you're always trying to get stuff. Every time I see him, right? Every time I'll go to games, or I'll see him, especially like we're on the European games, right? And Keith will be there, and his phone's going off, and he's like, "Yep. Oh, hold on a minute, lads," and he goes away into a corner. It's almost like a little spying mission or something. He's got his little spotters out all over the place, finding little bits of memorabilia and that. No, it's been incredible.
Yeah, no, I
Keith.
mean, as I said to you earlier on, I have to thank the boys. They know who they are. I don't need to name them individually. But there's, you know, they're all out there, in theory, looking for me. Because they've all been good mates for 20, 30, 40 years. And they've seen this grow, like, and they're always looking for stuff to add to it. And again, a lot of the stuff, well, not all the stuff, but some of the stuff I would never have if it wasn't for them. Or I'll have to pay for it, obviously. But they're like, let's call them my spotters. Yeah. So a big thank you to them as well. And yeah, I'm very pleased you popped up to see it all.
No, it's amazing.
You know, and
thanks very much.
Yeah. No.
Thanks very much for the record.
No, that's
the good old
okay.
Arsenal. This is what I'm going to use in the campaign. So I'm coming to see Arsenal soon. We're going to get this as our theme tune. Keith, thank you very much.
No,
Keep
thank
up
you
the
for
good
your
work,
time.
mate.
Yeah,
Keep up
lovely.
the good work.
Oh,
And,
I will.
You know, win or lose, we'll still be there.
Win or lose, I'll always be there. I'll always be there. Well, until I can't anymore, but that hopefully won't be for a while. But yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.